Anish. Toflux is muted, Clark. I don't know if I hear you. Are you?
Check. There we go. That was the problem. All right. Start that over again. Hey. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday to you all. Welcome to Build Up Devs Live. I'm Brian Clark. Over here is your co-host, The Niche. Good to see you, The Niche. How are you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good.
Been off for a while.
Yes. Well, we're happy to have you back, and we'll talk more with you when we get into the Q&A section, but we are going to go straight into the giveaway here, and we have a special guest for today's stream, everyone. Your special guest is Cecil Phillip. Let's bring him in here real quick. Bam, there he is.
I made it finally. Hi everyone. Brian, I think we spoke about me coming on the show a long time ago, and I don't know. We've never made it for whatever reason, but I'm super happy to be here. Hi everyone, I'm Cecil. If you don't know me, Brian and I work together. We do a Wednesday stream talking about Python things and so on and so forth. So super happy to be here, and also really excited to talk to you all about this giveaway that we're going to do. That hopefully, I hope you all appreciate it and love it. It's like Christmas time, so I think nothing better that we could do to kind of help support the community and help build up devs by, supporting it with some really cool giveaways.
Absolutely, and we're glad to have you on. I'm sorry it took so long to have you on, Cecil. I love streaming with you.
Though. I'm a fan of the show, though. I pay attention, so
Nice. That's good to hear. Well, we're glad to have you here. I know you and I were talking about potentially doing a giveaway on the Python stream, but they were like, hey, let's do it on the Build Up Devs one, so you can give away some courses for the holiday season, so that we can help folks out that maybe want to have access and learn more about a particular programming language. What type of giveaway are we doing today, Cecil, that you're looking to give away to people?
Sure. And so I kind of want to put some context behind the story too.
Okay.
So again, kind of like I mentioned, Brian and I do this Wednesday stream on Python, and we always come from it from a perspective of beginners. Like, how can beginners learn the language, right? But beginners might mean different things. Beginners might mean I'm a developer, but I'm beginning a new language. Or beginners might mean I'm just new to technology in general, right? And I'm trying to get up to speed with like a thing. You know what I mean? But whichever way it is, like, we try to be very open and like realistic with what the experience is like to learn new things, right? So again, we do that every Wednesday. And so, within our last couple of streams, we've been building up a really cool project where, we're able to track streamers using an API. Right. It's still in progress. It's not done yet, but we're working on it. And during that project, we decided we're going to use this thing called Fast API, which is a really cool Python framework there's tons of stuff that we love about it. Again, I could go on and on about it, but I just recommend you go ahead and watch our recordings, and you'll know why we appreciate it. But what I want to do today, what we're all going to do today, is give away access to a course that our friend Michael Kennedy created. So Michael Kennedy does a podcast called Python Bytes, and he also does Talk Python. Again, very respectable person in the Python community, and he also does training. And so today I want to give away three. What do you call it? 3 courses, 3 units? I don't know what you call it. Access to, I want to give 3 different people access to his new course, and that course is called Modern APIs with Fast API in Python. And what I'll actually do, I'll drop the link in the chat really quickly so people can see it. There we go. All right, so I just dropped the link in the chat, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. But this is the course that I want to give away, right? And so it goes from very fundamental, very basic understandings of what Fast API is, what APIs are, why would you want to build an API, and there's source code samples and tons of great stuff in there. So I think it'll be a great course for people to go check out and learn. And I'd love to give it away. So let's give it away.
Nice. Well, that's super kind of you, and we're glad to have you on here to help give it away to the community. And I think BuildUpDevs community is a great group of people to do that for. So we appreciate you doing that, Cecil.
Sure. So how do we want to do this, Brian? Are we gonna like roll dice or?
Yeah, we're gonna. I gotta pin.
Can you backflip for courses? Can you do that?
No, I'm not. In case, maybe when I was a little whippersnapper, a little younger, I might be able to do that. Yeah.
Ah, I've heard that. Whippersnapper.
So I would love to have like a pinwheel kind of thing with like the
like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
kind of thing?
yeah. But we don't have any of that going on. We're gonna use a tool that Stream Elements provides that lets us do the giveaway. So I'm gonna click Create and Start right now, and then you should see it popped up above me, and that should tell you if you can see. Let me double check on this. So what you should see, the message in the chat says a giveaway has started, Python course giveaway. All you need to do, for those of you that are watching right now, you have to be here live. So if you're watching this as a recording, sorry, you missed out. Type into the chat room !ticket to buy a ticket, and it doesn't cost you anything. Like it says buy, but it's not like you're actually buying it. You know what I mean? And so that will put you in as an entry into our ticket. Yeah, ticket 1 to buy 1 ticket. I think everybody's limited to 1 ticket is how I have it set up.
Okay.
Should be. Then there's the public page for it as well that I'll share in the chat in case Cecil and Danish want to check that out just to monitor, I guess.
This is cool.
For whatever reason, it's not showing any tickets purchased though. Why?
Yeah, I get 1, 2, 3. I see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ticket 1 million.
Ticket for 1 million. I love it. Yeah, I see at least 1, 2, 3. I see at least 4 people.
I do too, but for whatever reason, it's not popping up in here on the.
5. We got 5 people in here.
Why? Uh-oh. I think we're having.
T13R.
We're having a.
Dinesh, you can't get this, man.
So if you go to, I don't know, try going to this actually, chat. This link here. The BuildUpDevs
Can
giveaway.
I click on the link too? If I go to that link, would it enter me? Is that what'll happen?
No, it won't enter you. It'll bring you to the page for the giveaway, and then you type in 1 ticket and then buy ticket. And we'll see if that maybe works better. I've done this before, but it usually works by just sending in the command in the chat, but I guess not.
Is there a different command or?
No. I mean, one thing I could do is I could just start a new one, I guess.
Yeah, let's start a new one. Why not? Let's do it.
Has anybody tried going to that URL and buying a ticket that way? Oh yeah, we got 2. I was able to do 1 actually. Shoot. Now my name's in there. Well, if I get it, we'll just roll again, I guess.
If you get it, then we'll just do it again.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, so I see 3 entrances there. Had to log in first? Oh, interesting. Yeah. All right, thank you, Danish.
You had to log in to buy the ticket?
You have to log in to buy the ticket. Interesting. Log into your Twitch account, Jay Walter? T13, I just don't want to get
it says you must be logged in. To Stream Elements.
You gotta log into Stream Elements. No, you shouldn't have.
That's what it says. It says you have to log into Stream Elements.
Really? That's
so I put the 1. I hit buy tickets. It says you must be logged in to enter.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that way it knows your Twitch name, I guess, to put it into an entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Log in with Twitch. Okay, Patrick said that. Log in with, yes, just use your Twitch account. Okay, cool.
Okay. And so for folks that are wondering, as you all are going ahead and entering for one of these things, so we're going to give away more than one.
Yes.
So I'm guessing, Brian, we're gonna just gonna do one ticket. Like you're not gonna do multiple tickets, I'm guessing, and then we'll just do like a shuffle or something from these folks that are in here.
Yeah, we should. That should be the way it goes. It's been a while, to be honest with you, Cecil. Sorry about this. It's been a while since I've done the giveaway through Stream Elements like this.
Yeah. No
Because
worries.
it was usually like around this time last year that I had done it before, so that's why.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
All right, so we got 8 entrants so far. We'll let that run a little bit. While we're waiting, let's talk a little bit about Python, right? So
Yeah.
Cecil, I know you and I have been learning about Python, but Danish, what about you? Have you tried Python out? What are your thoughts on it? What's been your experience with Python?
I have never tried it.
No? Have
You need to come on our stream now. That's what you need to do. So next time we start up, we're gonna have you, me, and Brian on.
Okay.
We could do
Sounds
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should. We got to make that happen.
I'm down. Have you had any interest in learning Python though, Danish? Like what are your as somebody that hasn't used it, what's your perspective or opinion or thoughts on it? Like what is it something that you would pursue potentially in the future or no?
Yes, I started looking into it because I have started collecting a few books about the Raspberry Pi, and I also have a book about the different games that were built using Python.
Yeah.
So I'm just interested in just learning those things and just try something out with any of the Pi devices. I haven't tried that either so far.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. Since we're looking to keep time rolling here, we gotta be conscious of that for Cecil before he goes. I see we have 8 total entrants in there, so I mean you have a good chance of winning the course for anybody that's interested. Hey, Exegete, if you want to get in on the giveaway, if you're just tuning in, head on over to this link, buy a ticket. We'll leave it open for like another 2 more minutes, and then we're going to start drawing winners. Cecil's giving away a course to Python, a Python course made by Michael Kennedy, Modern APIs with Fast API.
Yeah. I know some folks might be like, oh man, like you need us to log into a thing. Just, I'm guessing for the record, in case folks are wondering, like Brian's not collecting your information.
No.
This is only for like this third party tool. We don't get any stats or, I don't know the name of your children or your address or anything like that, anything crazy. This is just for the ticket. So I'm saying this because I know I get weirded out when people are like, you want me to log into a thing to do what? Is it that serious?
Yeah.
So just for folks that know, this is, it's safe. We're not collecting any information. We're not going to like send ads to your Twitch account or anything like that. It's all good.
I appreciate you bringing that up because I always just assume, especially folks that know me, I'm very security and privacy oriented and paranoid, to be honest. So I think people usually know that about me, but I'm glad you pointed it out because I shouldn't assume that. DRX says I'm ready to give my life to Clark Hill. No.
That's funny. That reminds me of like that Warcraft. You ever play Warcraft? And then the guy's like, I give my life to the Horde.
Yeah. All right, so I see we have Adozima, Pat Frackberg, Patrick, G Cordito, DRX Design, and myself is in there. I hope I'm not going to win it. If it gets to me, I think we can roll again. All right, I'm going to close it though. Assuming everybody has joined in. And is there anybody else still trying to get in that hasn't had a chance yet and they need me to wait? Just type wait in chat, please.
You have 30 seconds to buy a ticket.
Yes.
Countdown is starting.
30 seconds.
If you'd like to win this course, if you're interested in Fast API, definitely go ahead and put your thing in there. Also, if you don't want it, you might know someone else that does. You might have, a family member or one of your coworkers, someone that, maybe you have a mentee that's learning Python, right? So anyone in your life that, again, if you're not going to make use of it, you could always share this with someone else. And then they could take care of that. So.
Tofrog, go to that link if you are interested in getting the ticket, just to be, because I don't see your name popping up if you're trying to get in there, Tofrog. Exegete says Humble Bundle has so many bundles with random Python books. Yeah. right, Topher, I see you in there. All right, I'm gonna close it now, and we're gonna draw a winner, which should show up on the stream as well. Let's see here. Ready? Are you catching more bugs, Cecil?
I think there's another one. I'm sorry.
Drawing a winner right now. Here, ready? Drum roll, please. And the winner is Pat 1567. There we go. Rigged. Frank says rigged.
I love when it's rigged before we even said who won.
I can draw another winner too. It looks like too. By the way, so we can knock them all out right now.
So that's one. We got 2 more to give away. So Pat is one person.
All right, ready? Another drum roll, please. DRX Design, our second winner. Adozama, our third winner. Congrats to Pat, DRX Design, and Adozama.
Awesome.
Winning.
So now, Brian, what do they have to do to get this thing? Like, how do we do this?
Yeah, so it depends on what they feel comfortable. So Pat, DRX Design, Adozama, I think I've seen you all in Discord, so that might be the best way to just get in contact with me, and then I'll relay. I mean, because what do you need? You just need an email to send the course to.
Yeah, right? I just need an email address. So obviously, we're gonna ask you to not put your email address in the Twitch chat.
Do not, no.
Let's not do that.
No.
But if you are in the Discord, like Brian said, go ahead and communicate with him that way, and then I'll get it, and we'll figure it out. Or I'm guessing if you want to, they could message you on, like, they could DM you, not like public message you, but they could DM you on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever other thing, and then we could figure it out.
Yes, we could do that. That's fine too. Yeah. So if they prefer like the DM Cecil directly, there's his links to find him on like Twitter, GitHub, and Instagram and that stuff. Or whatever you all feel more comfortable using to send your email across. Just let me know. Or let Cecil know. That's how you can reach Cecil if you want to go to him directly. If you want to reach out to me via Discord, I think Cecil, you're in Discord too, right? You just ping us.
Yeah, I'm in Discord too. Yeah.
Ping us in there, and then we'll get you squared away. All right.
Yeah. So congratulations again to Pat. I got DRX Design, and the last person was
Adozama. ADOEZEMA.
Yeah, and I'm just writing down the usernames now.
Okay.
Just so that I can have them.
And those are names I'm familiar with, so those are excellent.
Okay.
All right.
All right, great.
Cool.
So thank you all so much for joining, BuildUpDevs today. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We got to do this again soon. I like giving away free stuff. So maybe sometime in the future we'll give away another free thing. And maybe I'll come back before we give away some free stuff just to have a conversation and hang out. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Sounds good. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with the rest of your meetings and stuff you got going on. And thanks so much for being part of it.
Appreciate it. Thank you both for having me. And everyone else, take care.
Bye, Cecil.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to hang out a little bit longer, chit-chat for a bit. We have the Niche here today. He's back on the BuildUpDevs Live with us, so we're going to talk with the Niche some more. And then any questions you all have, let us know, and we're just going to talk. We're going to get together. This is our last stream of the year, and then we're going to be starting things off in the new year. We're going to have more guests on. If you're interested in being a guest, make sure you're in the Discord so we can talk about that and we can get you set up there. And that's about what's going on, really. So hope you enjoyed having the giveaway. I feel very fortunate that Cecil was willing to do that and give away some courses to learn Python. And again, congrats to Pat, DRX Design, and Adozama. I'm really happy for you all. If you're feeling bummed out that you didn't win anything, don't worry. Don't fret too much. I'm going to do some more giveaway stuff probably tomorrow is the plan. Or we can maybe do some of it today. Maybe do another one later by the end of the stream. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling. All right. So the Niche, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
What's happening, man? What's been going on? What do you want to talk about? It's been a while since you've been on the stream, at least.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot.
Yeah, nothing really. I mean, I just had people. Where were we talking about last time? Maybe on Discord, I think.
You and I, you mean?
No, I was on your stream. Sorry, I was chatting on a Friday, and I said I had some issues at work, and I was trying to figure things out, and got things sorted out. I'll go into detail if anyone's interested, but things are fine now. That's all I'll say.
I think it'd
If
be,
it's not,
you
yeah,
don't have to maybe go into specifics of it, but I think it'd be interested to hear about like the general problem you were running into with work, or like what you were feeling with work, and then like how you kind
yeah,
of got past that and worked through it to get to a better place with yourself and how things were going with work. So,
yeah.
so why don't you lay that out as
Um,
best you can in that
okay.
regard?
So those who know that I work for a small startup. It's small because it's like less than 40 people, and the dev team is like 10, 12 people, not more. And it's been a while. Like I've been there for 3.5 years now, and it just started out with me and my CTO, just two of us, and we slowly built things, and we reached to a point about just last 1 year ago that we had money to hire more people, and we ended up hiring lots of talented developers, like even more than me.
Mm,
And so we had like 4 or 5 more developers, and a lot more on the machine learning side. And what ended up happening is because we have like one core product, uh, the task sort of ran out where I could contribute, or at least contribute, because my level of experience was not that high compared to the other guys, because I'm a new developer, the
yeah.
people who know. And so it was not really a big problem for my company or my CTO, but I kind of felt like I'm not doing enough, and I don't like sitting idle
Mm,
and doing nothing else. So, but it can happen to anyone where like I was not getting any tasks, and days and like weeks and like months passed by, and like nothing was happening. I was not feeling excited about it. I need something, some challenges, just keep going. And so all I really had to do was just try to like reach out and have a conversations with my CTO and explain it, just like as it is. Um, Nothing formal or very, any official language, just like simple face to face. This is what I'm feeling, and these are my issues, and how can we fix this?
yeah.
Uh, and I'm glad I had this because he was listening, and he we made changes very quickly because what and the other side effect of that was that experienced developers, because like they had their task and they were on a deadline, they really could not um, teach anyone or contribute or train. So they were just like really working in silos, just by themselves, just finishing the things and like on to the next sprint. And and I saw like there's no communication between the teams, and it's no longer fun um, working like this. And also what we found, like because we're building so much like in the speed, we just ran out of like we no one ever documented anything, so we have no documentation. So if anyone joins and we have to give this onboarding to someone, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
No one can really just like go on and like see or read something like, okay, just like understand what's going on and what we are building here. So those were the changes we made. Like we will start making documentation, start writing things down, start building documentation for others to see. Um, have weekly or bi-weekly, I think it's not weekly, workshops, internal workshop where senior developers can have 1 hour, 2 hours, how much time they have, give a short presentation of what they worked,
Yeah.
and just introduce like one part of the product, like this is how it's working and this is what we are doing here,
Right.
so that the others can learn too. And it was nice. I'm excited about these things and these changes. And when I'm back with some work and tasks.
That's good to hear. And like I think that's a great way to approach it, to have folks that are familiar with their areas of what they worked on within the project kind of talk through it so that other people can understand it better. It's not as good as, maybe documentation around it, but it sounds like
Yeah,
you were mentioning there might be some work around that that's coming up too. But so it's not as good as that, but at least they're not working within working in a silo, so to speak, is the expression I've heard folks in the industry say.
yeah,
When you're working in a silo, you're kind of just working by yourself. You're not collaborating with your teammates or teams outside of your team, within your company, to help you and make sure that you're covering all your bases. You're covering all the different scenarios that are possible when implementing that feature or functionality that you're working on within a project. So you all taking that initiative to start doing presentations on that, I think is going to be super useful, not just to you, but the fellow developers around each other. So that's fantastic to hear. And I'm glad to hear that, like, so in summary, like what would you say was the big thing that like drove some of this positive change within the company with it and within yourself, what you were feeling there with that, Dinesh? Like what was it? What do you think it was that tipped things over? Or like, let me rephrase. What was the action you took that sparked the change to see things go in a positive direction to where you're at now?
Just a conversation I had with my CTO.
Yeah.
I just sent a simple email explaining how, because I struggle when I don't have work, I struggle with self-doubt and like imposter syndrome, because it's very easy for anyone to feel like, why am I not getting any work? Or is my job on the line? How long has it been? Like,
yeah.
And so I just explained these are the reasons, and I'd like to contribute and be valuable to the company looking forward. And then what is it that I can do? And that's all I just said. I talked to him, and then he just started making changes just right away on Slack, because there are lots of DMs sent back and forth, and shook things up a bit.
That's sorry, I'm like stuttering there, but that's awesome to me, because I really, it kind of like just more in my mind, in my opinion, is more evidence to the fact to my thought and opinion around the problem. Most of the problems that we run into is just communication problems, and it's like, it was a matter of two people, you and maybe your CTO or whoever, your leader, you and your teammates, or your teammates and your CTO, whatever it may be, people not necessarily having as open lines of communication and honest communication with each other necessarily. I don't know if that's exactly the case here, but I have found, at least in my experience, a lot of times that whenever I'm running into issues, it's usually some type of communication issue that's the cause of it. So I'm really happy for you, and happy to hear that, like, it was as simple as just, speaking your mind kind of in a, not like speaking your mind in like, I'm me and I should be working, but like speaking your mind and like expressing yourself, and then your CTO recognizing that. So like props to him for this too, recognizing, oh man, let me focus on this here for a moment, pause the other things, and like, let's get this squared away. Let's get this ironed out. So that's awesome. And we have a lot of chatter in the chat. So chat, I haven't been ignoring you. I just wanted to give Dinesh the opportunity to speak, what's going on with him. And then you all might benefit from that too and get value out of it. I see RD9's in chat. Patrick's saying later, Cecil. Green, good to see you, Green. Exegete says, this is a question for you, Dinesh. What is your favorite thing on that shelf behind you?
What's up with Frankfurt?
What
He's
do you mean?
lying.
What
It's rigged.
What did Frankfurt say?
My favorite thing, I do like the skeleton on the He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone wants to look closely, you can bring it up here. These are the new ones that Mattel made recently.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Fresh. And but my favorite thing is this, which people on Instagram might have seen. This is the Figma Ludens figurine. It's like highly detailed. And it's by Kojima Productions.
That looks cool. I like the flag.
Yeah. Super expensive too, but I like it.
Hey, if you like it, you like it. Sometimes you gotta, treat yourself. What else we got? Oh, you were talking about Frackbrick saying if it's not Skeletor, he's lying. Pat got a win of the week. Thank you for sharing a win of the week. Pat says, I got my OBS set up on my new machine to stream here and there. Bot setup will be done this weekend. That's awesome. Congrats. No, I haven't set up round of applause for this, but round of applause for Pat in the chat. Lots of claps and stuff. That's awesome. Very happy and looking forward to seeing. I'll try my best to catch a stream sometime, Pat. Exegete saying congrats to Pat. Neo Dark Slayer. Hey, good to see you again. Says was a bit late. Greetings, and happy to see you. Happy to see you as well, Neo Dark Slayer. Thank you for being here. Question for you, Vanish. Patrick says, have you thought about looking for other jobs?
Not at this point, because like I was planning to, but the whole thing about my company had not talked about, firing me or whatever, and then that conversation has never happened so far. And it's a nice place to work. I mean, I've never been at any company that respects your time and schedule, and I don't have any pressure of I have to be at these meetings, or I have to be working like 8 hours a day, and I could take like pretty much unlimited days off if I really wanted to, if there's any health issue or beyond my 3 weeks that I already have. And there are many benefits of working with this company. So as far as I can contribute and I'm still valuable to them, I'd rather stay with them. And and I haven't even found anything exciting or new that I could just feel like switching a company for that so far.
Yeah. Well, I think it was key too that because you mentioned in your communication in the email, you're saying you want to contribute still, you still want to bring value to the company. And I think that's that's a good sign to anybody that's in a leadership role, that you have people reporting to you, right? When somebody speaks up to you and says, hey, I'm struggling a bit here and I really do want to contribute and bring value to this team, this company, that's somebody to invest time into. And it's good. Again, it's really good props to your leader for recognizing that and taking action from it. I see T13 in the chat says, I've had that issue of feeling cast aside when the company/team grows as well. So there you go. You're not alone with that, Danish, and having that feeling. And so I'm curious, T13, when you were in that situation, did anything change? What did you do to deal with that situation? Maybe you took a different approach, and did it work out? What's been your experience? Feel free, if you're comfortable sharing that with us in the chat, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Patrick says, right, the CTO might not have known that you were lacking work or you didn't feel engaged. That's true, right? Yeah, as a CTO, right, you're a chief technology officer of a company. I've got to imagine, I've never been in that position, but I can assume there's a lot going on. There's a lot of responsibility in that type of position at a company.
And he also is the co-founder of the company as well.
Okay, so. Yeah. So there you go, co-founder and CTO. Wow, a lot on your plate when you're in that type of position at a company. T13 says, I got another job. Well, that's one way to approach it. And I assume then it worked out for you and you're happy now, right, T13? Let us know. Oh, well, before that, T13 said it's frustrating when you have new team members joining and it feels like they become more important to the company/team, even though you've been there for a long time and have built a lot of things that led the company to where it's at. Yeah, man, I can imagine. I've never, fortunately, I haven't been in that situation, but I feel for you. I can imagine. Neo Dark Slayer is doing great. That's good to hear. DRX Design says, question for both of you. What are your favorite programming languages? Ooh. All right, Denise, you go first. I've been chatting a little bit, so go. What's your favorite programming language?
So far, I only work with JavaScript. But I really want to learn Swift, which I haven't gotten around doing it. At some point, I will. I don't know when.
That's a good answer. So for me, my jam lately is JavaScript. I do enjoy building things in JavaScript, but that, I feel kind of bad about that being my answer, not because of anything with JavaScript, just because that's what I'm comfortable with right now, and I feel like that's what people tend to answer. I would say, So I've had experience. I've built with Swift. I built with a little bit. I've dabbled with JavaScript and C# are my strongest, probably 2 languages. Python. What else? I've done AutoScript, little scripting languages here and there. I don't know that I have a favorite. I think I kind of feel bad saying JavaScript because it's just it's an easy answer in the sense of that's the one I know right now. So of course I'm going to say that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Probably the one that's let me, if I could, DRX design, if I could flip the question a little bit and say, what's the programming language that's the most interesting to me right now? I think I would say it's Python still, since I'm still learning it and I haven't fully used it in projects other than the thing that Cecil was talking about in the stream that he and I do. So Python is the one that interests me the most right now, and that's my answer to that. So Danish, if you could choose like one, it sounds like I know the answer, you mentioned it before, but if you could choose what's the most interesting programming language you find to be for you right now, what would that be? Swift? Yeah. Okay. DRX, good question. Thank you for asking that. T13, going back to the mentioning they went through a similar experience the niche did, and they got another job. T13 says, not right away though. I did try to work things out by changing teams. Oh yeah, that's another way to do it. And then T13 also says, yeah, happy now, but there's still a bit of the same situation now, but it's not too bad. We're getting proper levels and titles soon, so I think that will be key for me. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I wish you the best with that, T13. Green says, I like different languages for different reasons. That's kind of like where my head was going, and you just helped articulate that. Thank you, Green. I agree with that. And chat, you feel free to answer these questions too, okay? This is, again, I want to make sure, I know I sound like a broken record, and I'm harping on this and emphasizing this. Like, Danish and I, we like founded, because it's not a company, but like we founded the whole BuildUpDevs initiative kind of thing, right? But this is a community, and you all are a part of it, and as much a part of it as Danish and I. So the reason I'm bringing this up and harping on this and emphasizing this is when we have these lives, it's about all of us having a discussion and helping each other out, and not just about me or the niche or even a guest that we have on. Well, when we have a guest on, we are focusing on trying to highlight and like bring visibility to that guest more and focus on them. But you get what I'm saying? I want to make sure that comes through very clearly to folks that are tuning in. Maybe you're new to this community, this stream, and you have an understanding, and so you can get a better understanding of what it's about. If you want to learn about how BuildUpDevs got started, we are working on the website, buildupdevs.com, so you go to that there, and that will tell you, that'll at least give you the principles that we have put into place as part of this community, and something that you could just instill in your everyday life as a developer in this community. All right, so that said, when there's questions that come up, feel free to drop your answers in there, and I'll read them out loud. Danish will read them out loud. We'll talk and discuss these things together. Okay. So continuing where we left off, Neo Dark Slayer says, I'm learning new things like JavaScript and web dev. The niche knows that too. He inspired me. That's awesome to hear, and that's nice. The niche, look at that, inspiring Neo Dark Slayer. I did learn Swift, but did not have the chance to apply it. Then moved to VBA for local businesses. Yeah, and that's some. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, Dark Slayer. Like, in a lot of cases, when it comes to working in this industry, you may not necessarily get to work with the programming language or framework or tool that you like the most, because your company, like maybe you joined the company that was already established, and that team and people that have been working there have already made decisions on those types of things. And you know, it's part of the job. Like you learn to work within those constraints. But then if you use that to build up your experience and look at it, view it as a stepping stone to start getting towards the next thing that you want to get at. So maybe you want to work in with a specific programming language for your projects. You work at this job where you're maybe, doing VBA, let's say that's the answer for that situation for a local business. That helps you get the experience to put on your resume, to land the job, to work in some other space that has some JavaScript tied into it along with VBA. Right? And then you can put that JavaScript experience on your resume too. That can lead you to the next job where you get hired to do just JavaScript, So that tends to be, I guess what the point I'm getting here that sparked from Neo Dark Slayer's comment in the chat is that you may have things in your mind as a beginner or just getting started out in this industry that you want to work with, like certain languages and technologies you want to do. But sometimes you need to kind of not necessarily put that away or aside, but like on the back burner almost. Keep it in the back of your mind that that's your goal to get to, but you have to take steps to get there. And so maybe you can land a job doing other programming languages first that will help you get to that point. Does that make sense? Anish, what are your thoughts on that?
I was not listening, actually.
Great.
I was reading all the
All the
comments.
messages. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me know, and folks that did listen in chat, if you, what are your thoughts on that, and if what's been your experience in terms of getting towards your goal in using, in having the opportunity to work within a certain position, have a certain position at a company where you're able to work with the technologies and programming languages that you have kind of dreamed of working with. So moving on from that, while we wait for some answers, Jay Walter says, "What excites you about Python?" I guess so. I'm assuming that's a question for me. What excites me about Python is a couple different things. It's pretty versatile, just like JavaScript. Like you can use it on a lot of different machines. Um, and then I'm really into, for me in general, I like learning new things and then sharing what I learn with people. And I've been lately, especially because of the position that I'm in with work, focused on helping folks that are new to programming and getting them into programming. And I believe that JavaScript and Python are of the most two of the most likely or better options, I guess is the way I want to phrase this. JavaScript and Python are the two better options of all the programming languages that are out there, in my opinion, for folks that are looking to start learning programming, because of the to me, they have the least amount of ceremony, is the way I'll put it. I mean, that might be putting it a little bit too harshly, but like ceremony in the sense of you can just kind of do a couple things and you get going with JavaScript and Python. Whereas like with other programming languages, you might have to compile the code, and that's a new concept that you need to introduce into a beginner's mind to understand what's going on, right? Whereas with JavaScript and Python, that's not part of the equation. So that's another reason why it interests me. And then as I've been learning Python, there's just been really interesting stuff that's built into the Python standard library that I was like, oh, it's like the one thing that always stands out to me with Python that like always surprised me when I learned this was that there was an else. You can have an else statement with loops. You know, like normally you have like an else, like an if else, right? Like if this condition happens, do this, else or otherwise. If that doesn't get satisfied, that condition, then you do something else. But like you can have an else after doing a loop, like a for loop. And I was like, what? You know, like that blew my mind. And I'm like, well, how I haven't quite used it yet, so it's not necessarily something that I think would. I mean, it probably is useful. I just haven't found a scenario where I would use it just yet. But it was just like surprising to me, and I thought that was kind of cool. Like why wouldn't we have an else in there? You know. Anyway, so that's kind of one of the things that excites. Thank you for the question, Jay Walter. I hope I answered the question. And if you have more follow up to that, let me know. DRX says thanks for the answer from earlier. Kashido Dev, good to see you, Kashido Dev. How are you doing? Welcome in. What's your win of the week? Oh, that's the other thing. Duh. BuildUpDevs, the niche. Win of the week. We got to talk about our wins of the week. It's towards the end of the week. So, folks in chat, if you don't know what win of the week is, do ! WOTW, and the Stream Element Spot will respond to you and let you know what win of the week is. And we'll get into that. But let's catch up on chat a little bit more first before we jump into our win of the week. I think I know your win of the week. T13 says, I like JavaScript the most right now, but I'd love to learn Rust. That is an interesting one, yes. Pat Pez says, I love C#. I've also really enjoyed Angular as a front-end language. Nice, very good. Jay Walter says, Kotlin is my favorite by far, but I may need to learn Python for my new job. Okay, there you go. And Danish, I see you shared a link to the Figma Ludens thing. Darkslayer says, I do make flexible choices, although always ready to learn new things. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. God One's Love says, Clark, yo, sir, what can I do with this website? The website is just about learning what BuildUpDevs is about really right now. We're working on redesigning it and adding more things to it that would bring more value to you and have more things to interact in that regard. So you can check that out. Like if you're new to BuildUpDevs, you don't know what it is, that's a good place to start to get an understanding of what BuildUpDevs is about and how it started. And then if you want to talk with folks in the community and join in on the community, you can join the Discord, and the invite for that is right there in the chat. T30 says, I was wondering the same thing. Yeah, so the BuildUpDevs is just a landing page. It's just something to have that we own in the sense of us as a community have a place that we own. We're not reliant on any social media platform in order for this community to exist is kind of what it is, you know? So yeah, and then we have stuff going in the works still to share like the backstory on how BuildUpDevs was created to post up on the website and that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for that to change with the website as well. T13 says, Clark, I agree with you. Python and JavaScript are very approachable. Yeah. Denisha, what are your thoughts on it too? Like, I know you mentioned that you haven't tried Python, but does it look approachable to you from what you have seen of it?
Yes, especially syntax. It's very, I find Swift and Python very similar.
Hmm.
No semicolons, almost the same syntax, pretty much that I've found. Even Swift is approachable, but you need a Mac for it, and then that's the one thing that you could actually use the language on other platforms. I think Linux and Windows, but then in the end, like if you're not using it to build Mac or iOS applications, then at least now you don't see much use of it.
Well, you know what's interesting about that as well, Danish, is I've not quite seen or know of anybody that's doing this in production, but you can, I believe, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I heard this, that you can use Swift to build out APIs, like web APIs too.
Yeah, there is Swift for server-based applications too, and they're working on it. Google is using it for their machine learning, I think, internally.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that. There you go. So it's not just, so Swift is not just limited to like building Mac OS or iOS.
Oh, it's a general purpose language.
Yeah. What else we got? T13 says JavaScript in particular, since it's right there in the browsers. Yeah. Pat says, I totally agree. JavaScript, TypeScript, and Python are great for starting to learn with, especially for younger devs. Yeah. T13 says, Clark, I thought Win of the Week was on your own stream. Is it in both? I don't want to spoil things. It's on both. So, I mean, if you share it here and then you join on the Friday stream and you share it there again, it's not a bit, it's no worries at all. Feel free to do whatever you feel comfortable with, T13. But yeah, the Win of the Week thing started. We started doing that on here, or did I start doing that on the Clarkio channel? I forget.
It was on the Clarkio, I think.
Okay. Yeah, and then I was like, yeah, it's just a good thing to do. It's a good reminder to reflect on the things that we're grateful for in our lives. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can do it. You can share your Win of the Week here, or on the Friday stream, or on both. Kashido says, I'm learning Laravel for building a simple SaaS. Nice. That's cool. How are you enjoying that, Kashido? DRX Design says, well, I do learn a lot about programming, but sadly my country kind of broke me up because company here wants you to build a full-scale app with small price so they can win millions. I've been working with a company that end up not paying me. So yeah, oh my gosh. I'm really sorry to hear that, DRX Design. That's not cool. They would do that. And I wish you the best in finding a better situation for that. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not worthy using the BuildUpDevs. Like, you need to be a good developer. Oh no, DRX Design, you are absolutely worthy of using BuildUpDevs. I guess this kind of brings this conversation up, Anish, right? Hashtag BuildUpDevs. So yeah. I guess let's talk a little bit about, not getting too into the details. And how are you on time, by the way, Anish? Do you have any hard set, like you got to go or anything like that? Because we're getting close to the top of the hour. I'm good to keep going, but I wanted to double check with you.
Yeah, I think we can go for more 15, 20 minutes, I think.
Okay.
No worries there.
Okay, cool. So BuildUpDevs started on Instagram, and the idea was, it sparked from, I was new to the developer community on Instagram. I didn't know that there was folks that were doing development that were sharing what they were learning and doing on Instagram. And then I discovered it and I was like, oh, this is cool. And the more I was like just listening into the community and being part of it, the more I saw people like tearing each other down, like just being negative towards each other and just having this kind of toxic, just this toxic mentality that was going on there, which is kind of like I think a lot of people know and understand with Instagram in general, like even outside of the developer space, it's like you're always showing your best self and everything's just perfect and rainbows and butterflies all the time kind of thing, right? And so I was like, you know what? Let's flip this on its head, and instead of what's the opposite of tearing each other down? It's building each other up. And so we started just doing this stuff where we would go into, there's a lot of bot usage on Instagram where people were like, instead of being a human to human interaction, they were like just to get, for selfish reasons, to get visibility on their own accounts and gain more followers and like bump up those vanity metrics. They would create bots that would just go around and like everybody's post under certain hashtags, or they would just spam a bunch of random canned list of comments on each post, right? Which is like, that's ridiculous, because what value is that adding to the person that created the post? You know what I mean? It's not real human interaction. It's not like you're really liking the post. You're just automatically liking the post for selfish reasons. So BuildUpDevs was about kind of combating the usage of bots and combating the toxic just interactions that were going on. And so then it started with like, hey, let's to signify and signal that we're humans that are actually interacting with each other. Let's use the hashtag BuildUpDevs. Now, the unfortunate part of that is it gained. It's unfortunate, but also kind of fortunate. I don't know how. I mean, I'll get to it here, but like, it gained traction. The hashtag BuildUpDevs, so much so that people are using it. Like tens of thousands of people are using it right now. But like, of those tens of thousands of posts, let's say, actually not necessarily users, tens of thousands of posts that are using that hashtag, I don't believe a lot of them know what that hashtag is about or what it's the true meaning of it. And they're using it on posts that have nothing to do with what that meaning is about. So that's the only thing that I would say in the sense of somebody not necessarily, it's not worth using the hashtag for anybody, is if you're using it in a sense that's not true to the essence of what it's about. And this is what has led to us do the stream here on Twitch for one of the reasons. This is a reason that's led to us creating the website, so we have a property outside of Instagram to get away from that, because it's kind of, to me, it's getting overwhelming and exhausting combating that toxic kind of environment that's going on there, where people are just using hashtags because it's a popular hashtag now, you know? So this is a long answer to say, DRX Design, you are absolutely worthy of using BuildUpDevs and being part of this community. It doesn't matter what your level of experience as a developer is. I hope you feel welcomed and like understand that, like, I don't want you to feel like you're not worthy is what I'm getting at. There's people that are doing this habit of using the hashtag that, in my sense, I'm not saying they're not worthy. I'm saying the post is not really worthy because it doesn't make sense for the purpose of that hashtag. You know what I mean? Danish, what, you know, if you want to elaborate or share your thoughts on it too, or have anything to add.
Not really. I mean, we don't have any rules or hard regulations of who should use the hashtag. As long as you are just contributing to helping other people and just having human to human communications, and that's all it is about. I think nothing else really.
Yeah, it's like it's a personal choice you make in how you use social media within the developer community and even outside of it, if you'd like, and you apply those principles to it. That's kind of what it is, really. So yeah, so sorry that was like a long-winded thing sparked from what you were sharing, DRX Design, but I hope after all that you feel like you are worthy. I don't want you to feel like you're not worthy. God's One Love says, sir, I am new to JavaScript. Can you share some links, resources? I see the niche shared one, beginner JavaScript. There's also freecodecamp.org. I know, the niche, you have like a series of posts on your Instagram that you usually respond to people with to help them get started too. So I would definitely check out the niche's Instagram if you want to get in touch with him. There are the links. That didn't work. Oh, do I have it under my own account? Well, the niche's Instagram is, I'll just manually type it out. Instagram.com/the-niche. Good job. Good job. Did I say it? Did I get it right?
No.
No. One day I'll get the pronunciation right. So hopefully that helps. Check out the niche on Instagram there. God One's Love. DRX Design says, best one for me lately is Dart Flutter. Okay, that's cool. Kushito says, it's going nice. I can accept simple payments, and I'm also adding the core functions. Nice, that's awesome. DRX Design says, Clarkio, welcome to the third world. I feel for you. I wish you the best. But I appreciate you being willing to share that with us. T13 says, on Twitter, whenever I put the JavaScript hashtag, there's a bunch of bits or bots, I think, that retweet immediately. Not sure of the benefit, but whatever. Yeah. It's stuff like that happens. I do believe I like bots in the sense that are made for certain purposes, that are automating things that are mundane or monotonous or just tasks that we do that are repetitive. But I don't believe in the usage of bots for the purposes of things that are human to human interaction specifically. Like, really kind of irks me a little bit. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, that to me is just devaluing that whatever that might be doing. So in this case, like, or the example we're talking about with Instagram, like likes don't mean squat. They don't mean shit now because, well, one, Instagram is hiding the number of likes now. So that was like I think a good choice in the design of Instagram that they did back then. Danish, what are your thoughts on that? Like when they started hiding the number of likes a post has? Do you think that helped?
I don't think anything really helped.
Fair enough.
Because like it's still like if you see Instagram, it's like I don't know, it's garbage now.
Yeah.
It's so bloated with so much stuff, and it's difficult to just keep track of people that you have connected and you want to follow and see their stuff. You can't see that anymore. I'm not receiving any DMs. Like I have received DMs, but I haven't gotten any notifications. So I'm just seeing their message like maybe 1 month from now.
Wow.
And it's. I hope it just dies very quickly.
Well, I'm more optimistic perspective on this. I hope maybe something changes that helps it go in the right direction. I doubt that may be the case, so my hope is dwindling there. But I still have some hope that maybe things will change for the better with Instagram. But I'm with you. I think the especially the latest UI change, it's super frustrating for me to like literally in order to send story. I mostly focus on posting stories lately. Like I don't do like full Instagram posts, or I don't participate in the Reels thing either. Not that I think it's necessarily bad. It's just like I just don't have the energy or motivation to do that kind of stuff. But I'm still want to be active on Instagram and interact with people that I know that are on there that I've met in this community that I want to still keep in touch with, And so like I'm checking out people's stories and stuff. So in anticipation for this stream, I post stories like sharing it with people so that they're aware, and if they want to join, they can join. And at the top, if you think of the Instagram UI lately, right? That's where all the stories are and the people's little bubbles or circles rather in their pictures. And for your own account, you'll see the plus there if you haven't had a story in a while, in like 24 hours. So I do that, post the first story, and then I'm like, how do I post the next story anymore? Because there's the plus now in the top right. It used to be top center or bottom center. It's in the plus right. I click on that and it's like, oh, do you want to create a post like with a caption and everything? And I'm like, no, I don't. And before that used to actually give you the option. Do you want to create a post, a story, or whatever? It's only posts now, at least on my version of the app on iOS. Yeah. And like for the life of it, I spent like a good 15 minutes trying to figure out how to add another story when I have an existing story on Instagram. And I was so mad. I was like, why the hell did they do this? So I realized, I don't know if there's a better way. I have to go to my profile. So the little person head icon in the bottom right of the Instagram app. And then there's another plus sign in the top left when I'm looking at my profile view while logged into my account. And then I have the option to post a story, a post, or a reel. And I'm like, why did they do that? Now it's an extra couple of taps I have to do in order to add a story. It's like they don't want me to do stories anymore. They want me to build a store and start selling shit. That seems to be the focus of Instagram now. They want you to build a store and sell shit. They want to turn Instagram into a marketplace, it feels like, which is kind of what Facebook is about, right? Yeah, Kishido, I see Kishido says IG looks like a market now. Yeah, it definitely, I'm getting that, like that is the primary goal of Instagram now. It's not about what it used to be about, which I don't know. I mean, I'm not like, I feel like an old curmudgeon, like back in my day, Instagram was just Instagram. For now.
It's not been that long either. Like just a few years ago, it was fine.
Yeah.
I hope the antitrust case goes through and they're forced to sell Instagram and WhatsApp.
I don't know. It's gonna even if that is the case, that's the situation. That's the end result of things. I feel like it's gonna be a long time before any action like that or outcome comes from it. Patrick says you're such an old salty man now, Clark. Thanks, Patrick. Neo Dark says glad to be a part of a small part of the BuildUpDevs when it was founded, and glad I was able to help out during my JavaScript learning. That's of course, Darkslayer. Patrick was sharing Code Academy is where Patrick started. God's one love or God one's love. God's love. Goddess love.
God one's love.
God one's love. I hope I'm getting it right. So let me know. But says, thank you, Clark. No problem. Kishido says, Flutter is super cool. It does look super cool. That's something that is interesting to me. T13 says, wait, they don't? My life is now ruined. I was hoping to cash out soon. I forget what that was in reference to, T13. I'm sorry. Do you remember the niche?
Bots maybe.
Bots? Oh, yeah. Bots. Got One's Love says, Clarko, sir, whether can I stream about basics of programming languages as of documenting my work at Twitch? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Danish.
Yeah. Like any place is fine. Blog posts, Instagram, Twitter, even LinkedIn is fine. I mean, I don't see any other use of LinkedIn uh, these days, but it's helpful sometimes. And then Instagram, Twitch,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, my general advice with this, and I know Danish, you agree with this. I mean, it's your whole, it's a big part of your career and backstory too. Is that like figuring out a social media platform that you find yourself drawn to and using a lot, and whichever one that is, you're most familiar with it. You know what posts are like and what people do on there, and what's the culture on that platform. And so I'm very much in belief that a great way to make yourself more hireable is to document your journey. And I know it sounds like at this point it feels kind of like cliche to say that because it's so overused of a expression or like advice. But like breaking that down a bit more, I mean, like when you're going through this process of learning anything, at least taking notes of it or recording it for your own reference. I think if you think of it in the mentality of I know that I'm not going to remember everything. I mean, maybe you have a fantastic memory. I personally don't. But, you know, most people aren't going to remember everything they ever come across when learning anything. So document it, right? Write it down so that you have it as a reference that you can go back to. And one way, and as part of that, you can share that publicly on whatever social media platform you feel most comfortable with or drawn to. And then that's documenting it publicly so that companies and recruiters, or just like in Danish's case, right? Your now boss saw your work on Instagram and then reached out to you, and it landed you your job that you're in right now.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a pattern that has a potential to keep happening more and more and become a more solid avenue for people to landing a job in the first place, or, you know, switching careers or whatever, or landing a new job within the same industry. I really believe that is a very viable, I mean, as evidenced here by the niche, but even more people doing that too. So that's what we mean by documenting it. And so, yeah, God, One's Love. Like if streaming is something you're interested in, I highly encourage it. I think I personally really enjoy it. I think it's beneficial, and it's a great way to document that journey of learning. Stream it. Don't worry about how many people are watching. Don't worry about all the vanity metrics kind of stuff. Just do it for you, and then people will naturally just be drawn to it for whatever reasons they might be drawn to it. Anything to add, Danish?
No, that's it.
Kishido says IG looks like a market now. We need a new social network. I don't. Maybe, sure. Do you think? What are your thoughts on that, Danish? Do you think we should have a new social media network out?
No, I don't think so. I mean, by this point, like, it's very exhausted.
Yeah.
I encourage you, we start meeting people. But again, for that, you need something. Like find and discover new people that you might connect to. So I don't really know the answer here, but I wouldn't spend too much time on social networks.
Yeah. T13 says they want to do what Pinterest could have been. Imagine a mix of Pinterest and Etsy. Yeah. I could see that. That makes sense. That's a great way to put it, actually, T13. In terms of what Instagram's doing. Freckbook says I started my IG account a week before Facebook bought them. I never ended up doing anything with it. Yeah. Yeah. DRX says, no, because I see a lot of people use it, but like explaining what they did code, I mean, just look at the niche post, look at posts. They look epic. Not gonna lie, I love what he posts. I agree too. I agree with that. I don't know what I mean, Danish had described to me how he does his pictures and stuff, and I was actually I never told you this, Danish. After you had described like how you do your pictures with your phone, I tried doing that and it didn't work out. So we might have to have more of a workshop on that of doing that with you. But I agree to your design. Go ahead.
No, we can practice. Like it just takes a bit of practice. Like I wasn't good either in the early days. I just figured out slowly. Like it's the light that you need in the room, and then how you want to compose and want to focus on when you're posting something. Like I'm even fine posting screenshots and screen recordings at some point. And I don't always take a photo of my setup all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jose Cruz IO. You can slide your feed to the right and then post one story.
Post a story.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
that's possible.
but they don't make that obvious that that's a thing. You know, they just change, they make these UI changes and then expect people to just figure it out. It's not intuitive.
And this was there from a long time. Maybe they didn't we didn't see it or discover it, but you could just slide it to the right and post a story.
Yeah, but
It's been there.
And you know, I am familiar with that. In fact, I actually shared, there's sometimes where I accidentally do that swipe where I'm sitting there and I'm like my head's down at my phone and I swipe and then all of a sudden I see my face and I'm like, whoa, you know, I scare myself kind of thing. Cause it's like trying to do a selfie for a story, you know? And I'm like, no, that's not what I was trying to do. Yeah. So, you know, I am familiar with that actually. And I totally forgot about it. But for me, like my pattern that I was so used to in terms of adding more stories was not using that swipe. Even though like I am aware of it, it's not something that's built into my workflow of adding more stories to my account, you know? So, but yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, Jose. T13's cash out my likes. I forgot that in these streams you have to spell out your comments fully with all references embedded in the message. I'm sorry, T13. It's just hard sometimes, you know, to keep the context. God's one loves Clarkio. God is love. Oh, God is love. Got you. God is love. That name is already taken, so that I have to take in this name, sir. Okay, no worries. I got you. God is love. Kashido says that's how I got my recent job. Nice. Congrats on that, Kashido. There you go. There's another example of somebody that documented their journey. Did you do that on Instagram? Where did you document your journey, Kashido, that helped you land your recent job? If you don't mind sharing. Green says I made an account for some reason I can't remember and never check it for Instagram. I honestly forgot I had one until someone tried to log into it a few months ago. Oh wow, Brackberg. That's funny. God is love says thank you to both of us, Anish. And then DRX Design says no, I think I know the answer. Anish was born pro photographer, like even his first post look epic. Yeah, I think so.
No, it wasn't.
What? It wasn't?
No, it wasn't. You can go back and see you can see the progress I made. I'm still not great as compared to other people, but I'm not really worried about taking great photos for my posts.
You mean you leave all your old posts from years ago? You don't delete them like the real influencers do on Instagram these days?
No, you can still go back and see the first one I did way back in April 2017. I had an iMac back then, no real light. I had a very cheap, wobbly IKEA desk. You could still see it, everything, and how the setup has evolved.
Yeah.
Actually.
No, that's good. I'm glad that you keep that. I'm just that was me kind of poking fun at the trend that I've noticed on Instagram where people are, I don't know, it's like everybody's always looking to, and I'm guilty of at one point in time catering to this, but people are always trying to figure out the Instagram algorithm and what's going to help give them the most visibility on their posts, which I don't blame folks for doing that. Like I said, I'm guilty of doing this too at a point in time with Instagram where I was worried about that kind of thing. But I feel refreshed that I don't worry about it anymore and don't worry about deleting old posts in order to get better results in the algorithm.
I think people can connect more, or people might like more if you're just being honest about everything.
Yeah.
Okay? I even post my shoes that have holes in them because that happens to everyone. It's not a special thing. That I have to hide it from someone because it happens.
But it doesn't look perfect, Anish. You have to look
it
perfect.
It doesn't have to be.
I know. You know I'm being facetious. I'm joking. Neo Dark Slayer is both epic. Thank you, Dark Slayer. You're epic as well. Kishida says, during the interview, I told that I build things off work, eager to learn new things, and gave them links to check it out. Okay, there you go. That's awesome, Kishido. Thank you for sharing with us. And DRX says, Clarkio, you see, he's even humble about it, even though we both know he has epic posts. I agree, DRX Design. I love Danish. He's a good dude. All right. So anything else we want to talk about before we wrap up? I think we should start wrapping up because we're definitely over time, but Any last words before we close things out, Danish?
No, not really. I mean, hopefully 2021 would be a good year. Starting to look that way. We'll see. And I think this is the last stream, so we'll only meet others on after New Year's.
Yeah. I see Neo Dark Slayers has some thoughts for BuildUpDevs. Yeah, feel free to DM Danish and I, and we can talk more about it and see if it makes sense to do with BuildUpDevs. Dark Slayer. We're always open to that. So as a reminder, folks, if you want to get in touch with us, one, I think most of you know where to get in touch with us on Instagram, probably know each other and have already DM'd before, so I'll leave that be. But if you want to join the Discord community, like we're saying here, we're trying to make sure that we still are able to keep things going with BuildUpDevs as much as we're not feeling Instagram so much. We don't need to rely on Instagram being that point of contact for all of us in the community. We can use Discord, we can use the website that we're building out, and that kind of stuff. And if you're interested in being a guest on a future stream of BuildUpDevs, a great way to get started with doing that is by chatting about it with us in Discord. So there's a link from Stream Elements Bot that'll give you the invite to access the BuildUpDevs Discord. Now, one little thing, because I've noticed this pattern that happens with the Discord. People pop in, they only see the one channel, the rules. What is it called that we called it here?
Code of conduct.
The rules and code of conduct. And then people like see that, and maybe it is that they don't want to agree to it, which is fine. If that's the case, you don't want to agree to it, that's your own prerogative, your own choice. I understand. But I think some people might get confused on like what to do from there. You have to react to, there's a certain message from a bot in there called UI, Y-U-I, that's saying like, hey, you've read through the code of conduct and you agree to it, and you just react with an emoji, and the emoji is the little scroll icon. So if it's your first time joining the BuildUpDevs Discord, you're going to be dropped into the rules and code of conduct channel, and in there you're going to find, and you can read through the code of conduct, make sure you agree with it and you're willing to adhere to it, and then you react with an emoji. You just click that little icon, and then that'll give you a role that gives you access to more visibility to the rest of the channels and communication that's available within the Discord. So I'm hoping that will help clarify things for people that might pop in that are a bit confused. I also added a confused channel in case you are confused that can help maybe describe what I just shared in there. So in any case, if you pop into the Discord and you don't know what's going on, what you need to do, and you need help, just DM Danish and I, or either one of us, and we'd be happy to help you out there. Okay? Cool. So I think that about does it. I'm Brian Clark. This is Danish. Good jar. Good jar. Yes?
Good job.
Good jar. Did I get it that time?
Yeah.
You're lying.
No, it's true.
Good jar. I did?
Yeah, good job.
Yes! I did?
But you won't remember it next time.
I won't remember it next time. You're right. All right. Well, anyway, I'm Brian. This is Danish. Thank you for watching another Build Up Devs. We'll see you in the new year. Have a good rest of your year, a good rest of the week. And we'll catch you around. We'll be in the Discord chat in there. We're not going anywhere. We're just not going to be streaming. Okay. We're taking the holidays off here. So hope you have a good time with your friends and family as best as you can with everything going on. And we'll see you next time. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.